fellow babies. Welcome to the 42 show, the very show that Vladimir Putler himself called
homoerotic garbage and a stain on the nation.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Will Streamlabs hold together? Will the Wheel of Doom work?
Go for it.
It actually did.
And
look
just
at that.
At the post.
Yeah, and here's an image for you all. So Stormy Daniels spent the entire day sparring back and forth with a Trump attorney this morning. Daniels and a defense attorney, Susan Neckles or some shit, I don't know, we'll call her Susan, had multiple heated exchanges as Susan sought to undermine Daniels' recounting of her alleged sexual encounter with Trump back in 2006. At times, the jurors were going back and forth like it was a tennis match, man, with their heads whipping back and forth, trying to keep up.
And that was just looking at Stormy's boobies.
Yeah. Well, she got excited, and they were just trying to watch him go. At one point, Susan bluntly suggested that Daniels' long career in adult films made her predisposed to make up things about sex, including her encounter with Trump. The quote is, "You had a lot of experience making phony stories about sex appear to be real," Susan said, suggesting that Daniels made up the details of her encounter with Trump. "Wow," Daniels then added, "if that story were untrue, I would have written it to be a lot better." Susan proposed that Daniels' description of sex with Trump had completely changed. Daniels angrily told the lawyer, "You're trying to make me say it's changed, but it hasn't." In another moment, an exasperated Daniels told Susan she was trying to trick her into saying something that's not entirely true. Susan pressed Daniels on her previous comments that she was so shaken when she saw Trump sitting in his hotel room in 2006 that she became lightheaded and almost fainted. And Stormy Daniels replies, "When you're not expecting a man twice your age in his underwear, absolutely." Right?
Wow.
Yeah, Susan, invoking Daniels' longtime work in sex-related industries, asked whether it was the first time in your life that somebody had made a pass at you. Daniels said no, but the encounter stood out for how much larger and older the man was. Another topic that fueled tension between the two was the slogan for Daniels' 2018 tour of strip clubs, "Make America Horny Again." Susan argued the slogan showed Daniels was glad to promote the connection to Trump. Daniels said she hated the slogan and never posted it herself, even if some promoters had. But then she did actually admit that she did post it twice on social media. Ooh, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that breaks the case entirely.
Yeah. So Donald's little minion, Susan the lawyer, kept at it here to argue that Daniels was out to capitalize on her affiliation with Trump. Susan said Daniels used the affiliation to sell souvenirs online, including a Stormy Saint of Indictments candle. Daniels retorted that it was not unlike Mr. Trump, an apparent reference to Trump's campaign using his legal troubles to sell merchandise like a t-shirt with his mugshot on it.
Touche.
Yeah. So everybody had hopes that Stormy would get all cool on the stand and, properly stand up for herself and speak. And she is. So I think it's really cool. I loved reading that. I thought it was awesome. It ended too with, here, let me bring it back up here. It ended with, Susan, the Trump minion lawyer, said most of what Daniels was actually selling was bragging about how you got President Trump indicted. And the actress held her hands to her chest in mock surprise and replied, "I got President Trump indicted?"
Little old me.
Yeah, she really did. Yeah, she went full on Marilyn Monroe with it. So, yeah, I love it.
It's funny that the questions they're posing to her are completely irrelevant to the actual, reason that he's there.
Exactly.
It's got they didn't ask her, well, did he pay you some money or did you make that up? No, that didn't come up because he did.
Yeah. Nobody cares about that, right? They just want to know if the sex was any good. No.
Yeah, of course it wasn't.
But yeah, a man that large and old and I love it.
Blubbery and
Oh yeah, you know, yeah. I don't think there's enough hush money in the world. So you've got an unbelievable story. Like this is unbelievable.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the future is here. Finally, there is now been a portal built between New York and Dublin. Yes, CERN has come through. Science and technology has broken everything, all the new grounds, and we've now got a portal between the two cities. This is fantastic, Dick. Yeah, it's amazing.
Not quite.
Yeah.
Let's tell them the real. Yeah, this is how they played it, right? This is exactly the hype machine that came out. But what's the reality?
It's not quite as exciting as that. Yeah, it's it's a Zoom call between New York and Dublin, basically. The portal has emerged in Dublin and New York, allowing people from more than 3,000 miles apart to see and interact with each other over real time. Yeah. Cool. The fun you could have with that. This futuristic sculpture forms a 24/7. It's a circle. It's futuristic. It forms a 24/7 virtual bridge, live streaming live from across the Atlantic. The New
to
York
what looks like a back alley. Look at that.
Well, that's Dublin. Dublin
oh, sorry.
The New York City portal is situated in front of the Flatiron building on 5th Avenue, while Dubliners can find their local portal on O'Connell Street in front of the General Post Office and the Spire. Sound exciting.
Is it close to a pub? Imagine the Americans. They drink more than us.
Of course, it's near a pub. Everything's near a pub in Dublin. The portal offers an unfiltered live stream. Oh, that could be dangerous. From O'Connell Street. I just told you where it is. Why are you telling me again, stupid?
Yeah.
The portal was activated on May the 8th. Crowds from both countries gathered around with signs saying, "Hello from New York and welcome to Dublin." The project was the brainchild of Benedictus Gillis. Great name. A Lithuanian artist who's got nothing to do with Dublin or New York. Brilliant. He's a founder of the portal who envisions it's an invitation to meet people across borders and cultures, transcending geographical boundaries. How cool. Yeah, all right.
Oh, it's going to descend into dick pics within hours. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I could read more about the article, but this is more interesting. What really is going to happen? What's going to happen late at night? With when no one's watching it.
There's going to be bar fights, and I mean, oh yeah,
just making rude gestures to each other.
Some idiot's going to try to walk through it and wreck the screen.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, how long do you think it's going to be there before someone just vandalizes it? Sprays over the camera or just does something ridiculous.
It's probably been done already.
Yeah, drawing mustaches on the people's faces.
Yeah,
with a Sharpie.
Totally good idea.
Yeah, drawing dicks on them. Yeah,
turn it into one of those things where you put your face up and you're a cowboy. From those. That'd be funny. Yeah. Somebody will draw a big dick on it with the.
It's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. But great way for promoting the channel, everybody. I'll mention that in the credits later on.
Yeah. Holy crap, man. So, has anyone here ever heard the phrase Pretendian?
Oh. Is that what planet is that?
A Pretendian is somebody who's trying to claim First Nations Aboriginal status because they're actually a sovereign citizen asshole, and they think if they can become a First Nations, recognized, then they can just set their own rules and laws and all this crap.
Oh, and good for them.
Yeah, it's crazy. So it's this is Kawartha Lakes First Nation, and it's like 100 miles northeast of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And this is literally what it looks like. It sits between signs advertising the sale of all-terrain vehicles, hand-scrawled messages on 3 buildings decry the government corruption, and blah, blah. At the center of it all, near signs for the Redneck Church and Chief Willie's Man Cave, I shit you not, stands a 26-foot teepee. Alongside banners commemorating the missing and murdered Indigenous woman and the victims of the Canadian residential school system, the only thing that's, been done properly so far. But then they have Confederate flags gently whipping in the wind. So they got 20 members, and they are supposedly Canada's newest First Nation. But several local Indigenous chiefs, all in the same area, are just saying this is brazen fraud and it threatens to erode their hard-fought constitutional rights. So in recent years, Canada, where I'm from, has grappled with a wave of these pretendian cases, people falsely claiming Indigenous identities, right? Trying to get, out of the system. This is where it all comes back to sovereign citizen assholes. But this self-proclaimed chief of the Kawartha group began sending emails to local chiefs, municipal officials, provincial officials, and they were written in all caps and grievances and increasingly bold claims, and it's getting out of hand, right? So this guy's supposedly a businessman and a former mayoral candidate in his region. He says he's possession of records dating back to 1780 that prove his ancestors were on the land for over 30,000 years, but he doesn't ever show this documentation and whatnot. It just completely hides it away. He's claimed both Ojibwe and Mohawk ancestry, but also told supporters that anyone born in Canada is Native. He says he's a descendant of the Kawartha tribe, so I don't know how this all ties together somehow. It sounds like just the rants of a raving meth head. But a local genealogist points out the name Kawartha was created in the late 1800s as part of a tourism campaign to rebrand the Trent Valley. So this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, right?
Looks like a lovely place to visit.
Yeah, but he was recently arrested, and during his bail hearing, he wasn't there, but a lawyer read an email that was sent by this idiot to a number of city councilors that led police to detain him. And he said, "We don't want to start to kill people, poison, bury every one of you or your families, but if you don't stop destroying our farmland, right? We know where you all live. Nobody wants to have this go far, but we will. This is your final warning. You have no idea how well organized we are and how much firepower we have in storage."
All 20 of them.
Yeah. So, talk about crazy morons. And this is all just so they can slip out of the system and set their own rules within the country.
Well, if they want to be like separatists, no problem. We'll just build a wall around them and they can just stay inside.
Yeah, build a dome, drop a bomb into the dome, let everything settle, rip down the dome. Right?
Just put a stink bomb in there and just lock him in.
Yeah. But it's crazy. So I'm going to keep a watch on this to see where it goes, because I figure they'll all just get rounded up and arrested for all kinds of illegal crap. But we'll see how.
Probably. Morons.
Mm-hmm. So you've got a stick.
Yes. Well, have you got wood? Well, scientists have, because an ancient sex toy could be the oldest and most used in Britain. How do they know it's the most used sex toy?
The most used by what? One person, or did they all share it? Like, was it a rental?
Brilliant. Yeah. It's a prostitute. Pinocchio. Researchers who were assuredly looking for non-erotic objects discovered the wooden log at a Roman fort south of Hadrian's Wall in northern England last year. Findings from the site suggest that the area was under Roman occupation from around 850 AD to about 370 AD, about tea time, something like that. Anyway, in 1982, researchers weirdly came across, don't say things like that. Researchers weirdly came across a weird looking object around 6.2 inches in length. Ooh. The object, carved from ash, is not highly decorated and has been crafted by humans enough to create a solid looking wooden pecker.
They're sure salamanders didn't do that, because I've seen they have good woodworking skills. What?
Some beavers. Yeah. But this brings a whole new meaning to the term wood. Experts believe it could have been used as a sexual implement back in the day. Yeah, okay. The suggestion is based on the shape of the object. What? I mean, look at it. I mean, there are other pictures. There's a wider view of it, and it's just it
could just
like
as easily be a fishing rod. What?
Show one of the other. If you scroll down, and show one of the other images, because you see it with its full extent. There you go. Look at that. You know, it looks like a mallet. It could be anything.
Is that designed so that you can judge depth? Like it's like a step drill? Is that?
Yeah. For measuring that, like one of those things for measuring your ring size for your finger, just but for anuses or something. I don't know.
But it's actually a tool to determine trading value.
Well, anyway, their suggestion is based on the shape of the object. Yeah, okay, fair enough. But they noticed that how smooth it was on both ends indicated repeated contact over time.
Imagine being first then. You're like the sandpaper to help somebody else have a better time.
Get rid of the splinters first. You cannot be certain of his intended use, but you are sort of implying that you do know. In contrast to other phallic objects that make symbolic use of that shape for clear function, like a good luck charm or something. But this one, wow. But they also found it discarded in a ditch, like where we find all your best porn, I suppose.
Well, it got so overused, the tip wore down, and it's just not as fun anymore.
Yeah, it was a lot thicker to start with. But they ask, can we do more to understand what caused the wear patterns, which are so evident at the tip on the base, but did not damage the shaft? Oh, what you people like, experts?
Wow.
Yeah, let's see if there's anything else. No, there's nothing else on this. It could be useful to read out, but
this is the report that gets put out by researchers that just haven't found anything in a while and are desperate to publish to get their funding renewed.
Yeah,
we found dildos. What?
Yeah, can we continue with the dig now, please? Thank you. It belongs to the museum. That's what I say.
Looks like Bam Bam's little club.
It could be fucking anything. Just because I don't know. It's daft.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. So, sorry about that pause there. We don't usually report on this conflict, but we're not reporting on the conflict. This is more of a political thing. So Joe Biden has just said for the first time Wednesday that he would halt shipments of American weapons to Israel, which he acknowledged have been used to kill civilians in Gaza if Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu there orders a major invasion of the city of Rafah. So the reason I bring this up isn't to get into the whole conflict because it's just horrifically ugly. But this is a major change in position. Where is it here? His quote. Here it is. Civilians have been killed in Gaza, and as a consequence of those bombs and other ways in which they go after population centers, where is it? Aaron Burnout out front referring to the 2,000-pound bombs that Biden paused shipments of last week. There seems to be a weird glitch there in the text. I made it clear if they go into Rafah, they haven't yet. If they do, I'm not supplying weapons that have been used historically to deal with Rafah, to deal with these cities that deal with these problems, right? So he means, some really aggressive stuff. Where is it here? He does go on to say that he would still supply defensive weapons like air defenses and stuff, but he would absolutely limit all aggressive shipments and stop them. So, for everybody watching and paying attention, that's a big deal. That's political pressure right there. So I don't know how this is going to play out. I don't want to take any guesses. I'm not throwing anything on the table in this one. Just wanted to bring it up because it is a seismic shift in how things are going.
Yeah, good on him.
Yeah, I agree there, actually. Totally. Where are you here? Oh, yeah, these guys.
Yes. China and pandemonium has started in China because the zoo there has been slammed for painting dogs to look like pandas in a bid to draw in crowds.
Look at that sorry ass animal, man.
That's hilarious. The rubbish dye job was quickly spotted before the Taizhou Zoo forced to admit that the animals were chow chows instead.
That's funny.
A picture of the ticket shared on social media included a snap of the new species as the zoo charged £2.25 to see them during China's Labor Day holiday.
This just sounds so North Korean. It's hilarious,
This is not the first time China has done this. It's hilarious. Tens of thousands of people visited the panda dogs every day from May 1st to May 5th. Clips taken by visitors appeared to show the pups with black ears, limbs, dark circles around their eyes, but their canine features were still pretty much apparent. Especially them running around on all fours.
No doubt.
The dyed pets sparked a wave of complaints against the zoo as furious visitors claimed they were misled into believing they would see real pandas. Yeah. They also questioned whether painting the pups would constitute animal abuse. Some dyes might contain harmful chemicals.
Yeah, if they're this crooked, there's no way they give a rat's ass, right?
For sure. Care. They'll just peel them and cook them, later. But the zoo later admitted that the fake pandas were in fact dyed chow chow pups who debuted their new look for the national holiday. Despite the confusing name, the zoo didn't seem to be trying to fool guests into thinking the dogs were real pandas. A signboard with pictures of panda dogs was put up at the zoo, indicating that the name is typically used to describe little dogs that either naturally or by grooming can resemble pandas.
I'm surprised they didn't go like, oh no, we genetically created them. No, they're real. Like that's,
I can't wait to go and see their shark exhibit, which would be like a catfish with a fin glued onto it. Staff
little
member
belt holding it on.
Staff member at the zoo said they got the idea of dyeing the dogs into pandas online. They told the news that this way we'll be able to add more fun into the zoo and boost, footfall. The staff explained that the zoo's relatively limited size prevented it from housing actual real pandas.
What is it, in the back of a restaurant? Like, is it just,
No.
They just cordon off the alley for an hour? Here, kids, we have a zoo. Mind the drunk guy with, he pukes over there. It's okay.
Poor little dogs. That's brilliant.
I can't. Some people, man, how can you be? Wow. Wow. So, here, let me go to this one here. Where is it? Sorry, 1 second here. This I caught wind of, and I really like this political change as well. See how I did a little tie-in there? You see? So UK Foreign Secretary Lord Cameron, the guy that used to run the show, has said it's up to Ukraine. He said this publicly now. It's up to Ukraine to decide how to use British weapons, and insisted it has the right to strike targets on Russian territory.
Whoa.
Yes.
Sneaky.
Let's open the floodgates here. So during a visit to Kyiv, he said that the UK would provide $3 billion a year for as long as needed. Just as Russia is striking inside Ukraine, you can quite understand why Ukraine feels the need to make sure it's defending itself, Cameron said. Russia condemned what it called another very dangerous statement. Right? So this is a direct escalation of tension around the Ukrainian conflict, which would potentially pose like a threat to European security. This is what Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Sukhmyov said in a response to this. Lord Cameron did not directly endorse the idea of British weapons being used to strike targets in Russia, but until now, the UK has generally let it be understood, and they're not the only ones by far, but without truly spelling it out, that weapons such as the long-range Storm Shadow missile should only be used inside sovereign Ukrainian territory. There have been several examples of its successful use in orc-occupied Crimea, including against elements of Russia's Black Sea Fleet. However, coming on the heels of this, now you've got the UK openly saying, yeah, just do what you want to do with them. Kick the crap out of them. Shoot whatever you need to. Just go ahead. Like, it's, again, another political switch. And I hope other countries follow in suit here, because like Commander McMillan on our Saturday show has often talked about the logistics, and Ukraine is hitting the right things, doing the right stuff. So, this is great. Go, go, go.
Wait, bring that picture back up.
Sure.
Because it looks like the two of them are doing that handshaky thing where both of them are like squeezing really hard.
Yeah, flexing a bit.
I think Cameron is winning because he's got Zelensky on his knees. Look at it. He's overpowering him.
Yeah. Well,
it's good. Ow!
Cameron doesn't look as big as he is, and Zelensky looks bigger than he is. So you put the two of them together, right? And it's like, yeah. But I like that. And then there was another tie-in here. There's another tie-in here. Yeah.
So the F-15s?
Yeah. Well, the Russian government
16s.
throwing around threats about the UK statement. Well, the Russian government is now warning Ukraine and the allies and, the UN and everybody that Kyiv's new fleet of F-16 fighter jets will be treated as nuclear-capable threats. Ukraine's military said last week it would begin operating the U.S.-made jet as soon as Monday coming. Ukraine Air Force spokesperson Ilya Yevlash said that the planes would be ready for battle after Orthodox Easter, which is coming up Sunday. The F-16s provided by Western allies, including Denmark, the Netherlands, Norway, and Belgium, will present a much-needed update to Ukraine's fleet of, largely older Soviet-made aircraft. While F-16s can accommodate certain nuclear weapons in the right configuration, Ukraine doesn't have a nuclear arsenal, and there have been no indications
the Russians took it back.
Yeah, and there's no indication that any of the allies are stepping in to share any. So, but regardless, Russia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs warned in a statement on Monday that it cannot ignore the possibility that the planes could have the capability of delivering nukes. Russia also claimed the arrival of the F-16s was a purposeful provocation by the United States and NATO, despite neither having supplied the aircraft to Ukraine. We cannot ignore the fact that these planes are dual-purpose platforms that can be used both for nukes and non-nukes. And so yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. They just keep throwing around those words because every time somebody does something they don't like. I mean, there comes a time when you've got to slap the school bully right in the face and then take your knee and put it right up into his nads and show him what pain really is. And in this case, that's actually a euphemism for shoot this fuck in the head.
I mean, they do talk absolute bullshit sometimes. I mean,
Yeah.
quite literally, an Uber Eats moped delivery service could be nuclearized. You
Yeah.
just got to put a nuclear bomb in the back. That's it. That's
Exactly.
it. Done.
Ever
just
seen a
because it's
James Bond movie? I mean, come
you
on.
can carry one in a suitcase. Anything
Yeah.
can be nuclear. It's like,
Yeah.
stupid git. Shut up.
It's not. It's just flapping your lips. Go go go. So yeah, more bullshit from them. We'll keep our eyes posted. This is a very strange story, dude.
Yes, we're going to go over to a man called Joshua Lee, who was shocked to find an additional charge of $277.39 on a receipt after returning a rented car to Hertz. Problem was, it was a Model 3 Tesla. Because
An electric
an electric
car.
car. Yeah. Because he opted for the skip the pump and save time option, which allows customers to return rental cars without refilling the gas tank. Even though the Model 3 is electric and doesn't have a fuel tank to refuel, he was charged for refueling it anyway.
How does?
Yeah, I know. Well, when Lee questioned this charge, Hertz doubled down, insisting that the service was provided and the contract was closed. However, Lee had returned the Model 3 with the battery at the same charge level as it was when he picked it up. And even if it had needed charging, the maximum fee would have been $35, according to Hertz's EV recharging policy.
The only way to charge somebody like $277 to charge up a Tesla would be to put it on a rolling road at full throttle while trying to charge it for like 24 hours or 48 hours. Like, it's ridiculous.
You know how it works at Hertz, then, obviously. But in response to Lee's dispute, Hertz customer service administrator reiterated that the agreed upon service was provided and declined to provide any adjustment or refund. Lee has been communicating with Hertz over the phone, but the issue remains unsolved, and Hertz refuses to refund the $277.
Wow.
Despite being a long-time Hertz customer with the President's Circle status. Ooh, ugh, that sounds disgusting.
Does that mean you have to carry the condoms? What does that mean?
Have you got the President's Circle? No, I've got a cream for it. Cleared up. Don't worry about it. But he has a preference for wrestling the Tesla Model 3S. But Lee has decided that his experience will be his last with Hertz. There is an update to this story as of yesterday. After the story was published, obviously, Hertz informed that its customers care team would be reaching out to Mr. Lee to apologize and will refund his erroneous charge.
They
should just refund the whole deal, not just like this little bit.
Are you kidding? Yeah, he should get free rentals for like 5 goes now. But once again, the corporate, well, not just America, but corporate period brain trusts have proven that they don't give a rat's ass until they get caught and shamed publicly.
Exactly.
Always this stuff, man. Always. Unbelievable.
Exactly.
Yeah. I got a quick one to throw in. I won't take long on it, but
we've got a few minutes.
Yeah, sperm whales, right? Scientists using artificial intelligence, and there's more to it than that. There's this whole thing where there's like a language theory and you graph out the sounds, and if the line goes top left to bottom right, you can tell there's intelligence in it. I saw this on Through the Wormhole years back. But they've done this with AI on sounds made by sperm whales, and they've actually figured some stuff out. The project is called CETI. I don't believe that's related to SETI, SETI, the alien hunter guys. Yeah, but let me go down to the thing here. Research by the team had already shown that whales signal their clan identity with 2 evenly spaced clicks, followed by 3 in quick succession. Right? They had already figured this out. But now with this, they analyze recordings of around 60 individuals from the Dominica sperm whale project. I guess they're tracking them and whatnot or whatever. They found that as well as the sequence of clicks called a coda, whales would vary the tempo and rhythm depending on the context of their conversation. They would add an extra click at the end of some codas and gently vary the duration of repeated sequences. So all in, the scientists have identified 143 regularly used combinations of all the variables that they believe basically form a sperm whale phonetic alphabet. Now, it's not like they can read it, right? This isn't the Rosetta Stone and all of a sudden we understand hieroglyphics, but we finally got a structure to use in decoding and trying to get somewhere with it. You know, imagine if you could have a conversation with a sperm whale, you know?
What are you doing here?
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Stop tracking me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ever smoke
Google.
grass, dude? Here, just put your blowhole up. Try this.
Yeah.
He'd have a whale of a time. Anything you want to see here? We got a minute left. Did you
All right.
want
Okay.
to-
Let's get quickly to this one. Okay. So when contractors were working at the Family Fare grocery store in Midland, they unexpectedly found a woman of 34 living inside the rooftop sign. Contractors discovered an extension cord on the roof, then traced it to the dwelling inside the Family Fare sign. Midland Police Department was called to investigate the situation. They were like, "Oh my God, someone is living in that sign," said Midland Police Department Public Relations Officer Brennan Warren. So I've never seen anything like this before in my career. The woman whom police nicknamed a rooftop ninja lived inside the store sign for about a year. Warren said inside her dwelling she had a mini desk, flooring, a pantry of food, and even a house plant. Probably all stolen from the store. Yeah, she made it home. Officers told the woman that she needed to find somewhere else to live, and she was trespassed from the business. Officers offered the woman housing assistance and other resources, and she declined their help. Police officers also believe that she has a vehicle. What was it parked up there? Yeah. She built a garage as well.
Where else do you hide your Porsche, right? You know.
They say the woman does have a job, although she does not work at the Family Fare, which is that's even bizarre.
It's crazy. She did it though. I mean, it's awesome. There's also a story about some guys that did this in a mall. They found a place, put up a wall, and the whole
yeah. But it was fantastic.
But we hit time, so thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll big thanks and stuff in the credits. See you tomorrow. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
And a big shout out to CF Beauty, who's at home resting up, and we hope you feel better soon, running all the teams for us in the background and whatnot. We've got BME, PJ CNET, Crazy Cat 1, Shayna Caldwell, and Skits Crasher on the team tonight as well. So thanks, everybody.
And thank everybody who becomes members and all that sort of stuff, and donations and super chats and all those lovely little things that just keep the little finances ticking over to keep our show running. And if you liked our show, don't forget to give it a like on the way out. I'm going to do that right now. Bing. And don't forget to share us out. Yeah, you got to share us out as much as you can. You know, go to New York, go to Dublin, wear a Shills t-shirt, and it'll flash it across the Atlantic to show each other, "Oh, I'm a member of the Shills, and you should be too." Or just spray it on the bloody thing. I don't care. But don't say we told you to do that. And so what else can we tell you? I'm just babbling on now. I've got nothing else to say. But we'll see
Never
you
be
tomorrow.
first to use a wooden dildo. Don't be human sandpaper.
Yes. And we'll see you tomorrow for the 42 show and the after show.
Indeed.
So we'll see you all then.
Get your
Bye
beers
for
ready,
now.
fellow babies. See ya.
Stay shilly.